All right, so today I want to talk about 60% gaming keyboards, but more importantly, I want to talk about the recent released big brand 60% gaming keyboards. The Corsair K65 Mini, the Razer Huntsman Mini, and then the HyperX Origins 60%. Talking about all these boards, today what we're gonna do is a comparison of all of them, right? But I did do standalone reviews on every single one of these right here, so if you wanna check those out, get a deeper dive, we will get that. But today we're gonna talk about the sound, we'll do the sound test and everything, and then the base core value. Out of the box, are they worth that offering price? But also on top of that, I modded every single one of these boards, and I do have standalone videos for those as well if you want to check those out. The only one I don't is on the Corsair one because it was quite easy. We'll talk about all the mods as well just to kind of help you out right there. But I got a standalone view on the Razer and the HyperX, not on the Corsair here. As far as the mods, basic review, yes, I do have standalone. So again, we're gonna touch on all that right here and then dive into the mods. Are they beneficial? But before we dive into that right here, talking about a mod that is beneficial for you, talking about your gameplay experience, using your mice and everything, to sponsor this video, Lethal Gaming Gear. So when you go over to lethalgaminggear.com, they have everything you need for your mice. Heck, even now they're offering mice. They have the new endgame gear mice right there, the XM1R. But even going further, they got mice feet, your core pads. I use these on just about all of my mice. They have mouse grips as well to improve the grip on your mouse. All sorts of different mice to choose from right here. Paracords, all different colors and everything, but the great thing about their paracords is they offer stress reliefs right now. It can be quite intimidating to take your mouse apart and everything and, you know, put a new cable in there, but easy with the Lethal Gaming Gear ones. Pop off your shell, snap in your new paracord, bam, and you are good to go. And they have these for pretty much all models right there. You also have mouse pads as far as endgame gear, SkyPad, X-ray pads, and many more to come. Micro switches if you want to go that further, and then also a fact page to answer any of your troubled questions. And I myself have been using Lethal Gaming Gear for my mouse accessories as well, from again, paracords, mouse feet, mouse pads, and everything right there. So make sure to check them out. Links right down in the description, and also use code Techne and you can save 10% off your order. All right, so which keyboard should we start with right here? I think we should start with the one that got the worst review from me. And if any of you have been here for a while, you know what that is right off the bat right there. The Razer Huntsman Mini. The one that got the worst review for me, and I would probably also call this the most popular out of the bunch. Is that just because it's a Razer product? I would think so, right? I really would. Probably the one that got the most raving reviews as well is that, again, because it's a Razer product. So for you to decide, you know what I mean? But all in all, if you watch my standalone review of the Huntsman Mini, I couldn't stand it. Regular MSRP comes in at 120 bucks on this keyboard, but right now you can get it for 100 bucks, which is definitely much more reasonable. I think it puts it at that competitive, that fair market price right there. 120 bucks, again, it was disappointing. It really was. Now there's a lot of great things packed into this board right here. The customization. Again, you can do your RGB without Synapse open, which is really cool on a Razer product. Most time you need Synapse active, you know. PBT keycaps. Again, compact 60% layout right there. Pop-out feet on the bottom, detachable USB-C. So again, it has a lot of great things going for it. It really does. The switches, smooth, very fast switches. Really nice switches right here. Again, as far as the fast speed and then the smoothness of them. Now the stabilizers that are popped on every single one of these keys right here, as a lot of you know, the little metal bar right there, horrible. I just can't stand this design. Now these switches are made by A4 Tech, if I'm thinking correct. Also Bloody is another one of their companies right there. They use them on their keyboard. So again, we've seen these before. And again, as great as I'm saying the switches are, there's also a lot of faults with them. Straight out the box on this board, if you just take it, now again, as I stated, I modded these, but if you shake it, it just starts clanking. And what that is all those wires going from each key with the standalone stabilizers. It just, again, bounces back and forth. And talk, like, who's gonna take their keyboard and shake weight it? You know, nobody. Nobody's gonna. But again, even when you're basically typing on it, you're gonna hear that, the clankiness of it. Again, if it's not modded, you're gonna hear that right there. So, talking about that, number one, right out the box, straight up, out-of-box experience for me, 120 bucks, I couldn't stand it. I really couldn't. At 100 bucks, does that make it better? Makes it more acceptable, I guess. You know what I mean? You say 20 bucks, who cares, you know? But again, even at 100 bucks, it's kind of disappointing. It really is. And that rolls me right into the mods. Are the mods beneficial? Are they worth your time? Are they easy on this board? They're fairly easy. The mods on this board, couple screws on it, pop off your keyboard, couple screws on the top, slap some padding, some shelf liner is what I use in all of my boards, even my custom boards, you know what I mean? Very easy, very cheap, and just layer it in there, right? That's gonna reduce some of the pinging right there. As far as those stabs moving per key right there, those are still gonna shake. So what I did is I slapped some lube on every single one of the keys right there, just a little bit on the outside. And it reduced that. It just prevented them from moving around a little bit. Just a little brush on each one right there, and it prevents that. Now, with the padding and that lube on each key, not on the stem of the key, just on that little wire again, right? So don't go off lubing your entire key. These are optical, so you don't want that lube getting down in between that sensor there, right? So anyways, with those two mods, it's much better. I took it even further, and I sprayed Flex Seal on the outer casing. I popped that out of the switches and everything and Flex Seal the top. And it just made it an absolute blast. Like, it sounds amazing. I don't recommend the Flex Seal, right? Because what it does is the keys on these guys, the switches, they go down and clip into the top plate right there. With the Flex Seal, it prevents some of them from clipping in. As you can see, my Windows key, it doesn't come up anymore. The reason being is that the clip's not going in there, so it kind of presses the switch to prevent it from going up. So skip the Flex Seal for sure. Maybe just one coat. I think I put 2 or 3 coats on here, but I would recommend the other two mods, the foam and a little bit of lube on each of those stems right there. And it sounds amazing. Let me let you hear this board. All right, so as you just heard right there, this board is a stinking dream. Like, the stabs sound great. Now with these new switches, they're almost like silent stabs. They got little rubber dimples on the bottom of them, so whenever they bottom out, even on the top, whenever they come back up, they bottom out onto kind of like a cherry silent switch, right? So the sound is just so crisp. They feel fantastic. They're butter smooth. It's really awesome. Now again, me talking about my Windows key being stuck right there, that's from, again, that Flex Seal. And I also dropped it, so that's why it popped out in the first place, you know what I mean? So that's totally my fault. That's not the board's fault right there. But with these mods, wow. I mean, it's just, wow. I love the sound of it. I love the feel of it. It's actually fun to use. It really is. So that's where I put the Razer Huntsman Mini pretty much right there. Worth 120 bucks or whatever the regular MSRP is? No, I still stick to that. No, it's not worth that price. Worth $99. Yeah. I would say it's worth $99. There's some cool features packed in it. You get the innovative switch and everything, so you get some new tech right there. I would say, even if you spend 99 bucks on it, spend these mods, the lube and that little foam right there, probably 10 bucks max, right? Go to Walmart and you can get your foam right there, get the lube off Amazon, and you're good to go. All links right down in the description if you're curious what to use right there. But again, I really think it's worth it. You're gonna have a really nice board at 110 bucks right there, you know what I mean? And don't worry, because anything you pop out of this, you are good to go. If anything does happen, I'm not liable though, so mod at your own risk right there. So all in all, 99 bucks with mods, totally recommend. 120 bucks out of the box, no, I don't recommend. All right, so next up, we got HyperX and we got Corsair. Let's go ahead and talk about the Corsair K65 Mini right here. This one recently launched right here, and it got some pretty bad reviews. It really did, and it almost upset me. Like, was it what I was looking for from Corsair? No. Wasn't what I was expecting. I know Corsair has so much more potential, but it doesn't make it like this complete garbage board. And some of the other things I heard about it was really upsetting, because you heard some other people rave about, again, matrix keyboards, inferior keyboards, your GK61s and all this, people gave those high-flying reviews when this is very similar to all of them right there, spot on, you know. And this one got bashed. That was kind of upsetting to see. It really was. Again, is it the best 60% you're going to find? No. Is Corsair capable of much more? Heck yeah. And I hope we see that from them, you know what I mean? So right at the gate, talking right there, is this board worth 109 bucks? That's what the MSRP is. 110 bucks. Is it worth that? It needs to be cheaper. It does. It has to at least be at 99. I'd probably like to see it around that $70, $80 price range, you know. The thing that's making the price a little bit higher on us are the cherry silver speed switches. Anywhere where you buy a keyboard and you're getting cherry speed switches, the price is up, even like mechanical keyboards. My Maya Pros, y'all know I love my Maya Pros, and cherry speed silvers are my main switches. I love cherry silvers. A lot of people hate on cherry switches. I love them, and I main them. From cherry silence, what I have on this Maya Pro right here. You know, my main Maya Pro that I use for gaming, cherry speed silvers. I love them. I don't see what's wrong with them. They're a fantastic stinking switch. You know what I mean? So don't let that steer you away, you know what I mean? The thing I think is the biggest downfall is the bland designing of this, right? This case we've seen so many times in Pro 2, GK61, Matrix keyboards, Alfiero keyboards. Tons of keyboards have used this case before, you know. I wish we got that Corsair design with it. But all in all, you have PBT keycaps, you know what I mean? Very solid RGB. I love the Corsair IQ software. I use it daily, so maybe I'm just used to it right there. Metal plate underneath there. And again, it is solid, but the out-of-box experience, again, on this board is, you know, not much to be desired right there. Out of it, if you watch my standalone review, there's a lot of pinging and tinging with this guy. And that's more or less from the case. Again, you have the case here, the metal plate, and a lot of empty space down in here. Like that plate's probably like right there. So I'd say maybe about half of this case is just empty and open. So whenever you press down the metal plate, it's ringing, it's pinging, and it's just radiating through. You know what I mean? The stock stabs are fantastic on this board. Out of all three of these, the Corsair has the best stabs easily, for sure. So right there, we can pretty much sum up out the box experience. 110 bucks, worth it? No, again, I think it's just, again, I think there could have been more done with it. You know, I wish they would have simply implemented the Corsair design into this keyboard. That would have been fantastic. Couple simple mods on this board to really bring it next level. The easiest one to mod out of all three of these, by the way. Pop out your plate up there, couple screws, that's it. Pop it out, slap some foam underneath there. What I did actually on this one, just to make it easier so I didn't have to pop out any holes, I took it's shelf liner, again I use, and I just rolled it up and slapped it in between each different slot right there. Super easy. The longest part was unscrewing the board. Everything else, rolled it, bam, 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 set it down. And I got some more weight in it now. Definitely feels quality. The pinging and tinging is just about gone. If you get close, you can hear some of it, but for the majority, it's gone. For the heck of it, I also slapped some lube on the stabs. Not needed at all. Gave it definitely a much more solid sound. But all in all, again, very simple mods, very quick and easy, cheap mods, and it really improved the sound. Take a listen to this board now. All right, so as you just heard with the sound test of the K65 Mini right here, it sounds fantastic. Again, if you get really close to it, slight pinging still right there, even with that foam down there. But again, you got to really close to it. Like from out here, I hear none right now. And it feels solid, it sounds solid, very nice hard clack right there with that foam in the bottom. Also added a little bit of weight. Again, it feels very solid. And this one put me right at home. Again, with my standard Cherry MX switch right here, solid keycaps. It ended up being really quality right there. But again, out the box experience, 110 bucks. I wish it was a little bit better right there. But again, not as bad as you're hearing everywhere else for sure. Again, that just kind of, when you sum it all up there, it's like we need to be consistent here as product reviewers, you know? So that was a little disappointing. But again, after the mods, a very awesome board. I'd like to see it dropped a little bit in price, implement the mods, and you got a solid package. All right, so last up right here is the HyperX Origins 60%. So you guys will probably think, well, he just saved the best for last, right? Well, you guessed right. I stinking love this board. I really do. I was a very big fan of the HyperX Origins TKL. If y'all watched my keyboard roundup video, that won #1 right there, and I still love that keyboard, right? So talking about the Origin 60, PBT keycaps, solid build, metal top and bottom right here, pop out feet on the bottom. It's just, you got the HyperX switches, the red linears, some fantastic butter smooth, snappy switches. I really love them. Kind of more or less feel like a Gateron switch if you ever used that before. Again, with the speed of, say, a Cherry Silver right there. Very nice package switch. I absolutely love them right here. But all around, top to bottom of this board, the build, like, whew, this guy is stinking solid right here. Sorry about that. Probably hearing some construction still building up and down my road right here. Anyways, but all in all, so the out-of-box experience with this board, I believe this board is coming in at 99 bucks. The cheapest out of all of them, stock MSRP, right? Again, the Razer you can find at 99 right now, but stock MSRP, the cheapest right here. And it's honestly, like I stated, my favorite. And it's great out of the box. Is it perfect out of the box? No, the stabs were clanky as the son of a gun. They were really clanky, you know what I mean? So worth 99 out of the box, yes. But like I stated, I did mod this and I did do a video on this as well. Now, this was the hardest keyboard to mod out of the bunch right here. Probably the hardest keyboard I've ever actually modded because again, it was the stabs. The stabs are within the board right here. You can't just unscrew it and get access to your stabs unless you're, I don't know how you would do it, right? Because the stabs are up in there. The PCB is attached to the switches. So what I did, I actually took the board apart right here, desoldered the switches, got my stabs out, band-aided my stabs, lubed my stabs, clipped them back in, soldered the switches back. Trust me, you don't want to do it. It took me a while. It was definitely a hard mod. It was my first time soldering, which was a fun learning experience, but not a mod I would tell you go off and do, not at all. You know, but now the stabs sound amazing. I also slapped some more of that shelf liner in here. And again, this is almost as good as a custom. Take a listen to this board now. All right, so as you just heard with the Origin 60 right there, stabs are gorgeous now, right? Definitely are. Now this has a little higher pitch sound than the other two, because again, it has that, well, floating key design just like the Razer did, but again, I slapped that Flex seal on there, so it kind of eliminated that, you know? But with this guy right here, you definitely have a little more mechanical keyboard sound, if that makes sense right there, you know what I mean? Again, you're really hearing those switches hitting right there. Nice sound. Stabs are great right now, but out the box, these stabs are gonna be clanky, and that is gonna be a hard mod, but they're not deal breaking, right? So when I'm saying they're clanky, it's not like, this board's horrible because of that. Not at all, you know what I mean? I could still game with it all day long, you know? But with the mods, again, like I stated, this is about as good as a stinking custom right here. Hardest to mod, best with the mods. So if that makes sense. But all in all, the HyperX Origins 60, I recommend this board inside and out, $99 stock or with the mods, a great board, and I absolutely love it and highly recommend it. So when we wrap up these three 60% keyboards from the big brands right here, Number one, what we can do is high five them for implement that, bringing them out, right? We see a lot of TKLs and a lot of full-size boards, which are honestly what I use, right? I use TKLs and full-size at my work, and then also TKLs, you know what I mean? I rarely use 60%. Maybe every now and then when I'm gaming, I'll pull one out. For me, it's usually 65% or TKL right there. But 60% are awesome for gaming, in my opinion. You know what I mean? And again, all you can do is high five these companies for implementing them, seeing what the customer wants, and bringing them out. I think that's incredibly awesome. I think all of them need some work for sure. They really do. But it's awesome to see this. And it makes me excited to see what's going to come now that they're actually listening to the fans out there or the gamers. You know what I mean? That's really awesome. And I know a lot of you are probably asking, well, man, instead of these three, shouldn't I just buy a Ducky 1-2 Mini? Ask yourself. Y'all know Ducky 1-2 Mini, the board I love to hate and I hate to love. It's a great board, but anyways, you all know what I think about that, right? So ask yourself, why do you want a Ducky 1-2 Mini? Probably just because hype. Right? Because it was popular. It was very popular, right? Tfue, Fortnite. Those are probably some of the reasons right there that sum up Ducky 1-2 Mini for you. I would take any of these over the Ducky 1-2 Mini. I really would. Again, the Ducky 1-2 Mini is a fun board. It's not a piece of trash, but still I would take any of these over it. You know what I mean? With the mods, right? So that's not saying that Ducky's perfect out of the box, but again, I don't think the Ducky's, you'd have to step up to the Mecha Mini, Ducky Mecha Mini. That's where you're gonna get a real punch for your value. Durgod Venus would be the other one you guys will ask about right there. Again, it's more expensive than all of these. Same with the Mecha Mini. You're talking 150 plus right there, you know, for both of those boards. And yes, I would recommend both of those boards hands down. They're great. The Mecha Mini and the Venus, great boards. Both probably about $50 more than all of these right here. So you got to implement that as well. Yes, fantastic boards out of the box. $50 more, right? So think about that right there. But all in all, it's awesome to see this from companies. If I was to rate them right here, still this day, I would go 1, 2, 3 would be my rate. I love using all of them. They're really fun after these mods. They're very fun boards to use. All day long, again, the HyperX is gonna take the #1 spot easily. Corsair with the mods is a fantastic board. The Razer one, I felt like I had to go a bit beyond to mod it right here. A great board after the mods, but again, I felt like there was a bit much I had to do, right, with the Flex Seal and everything. It's kind of weird. All in all, I love all three of these boards. This is really cool. Please let me know what you think down in the comments. Will you be picking any of these up? Do you own any of these keyboards? And what do you think about them out the box? Did you do any of the mods? If so, let me know down in the comments what you think as well. But all in all, I hope I helped you out if you're looking at a new keyboard, new 60% keyboard, or heck, one of these three right here. If you need any more help on the mods, like if I didn't touch on a certain thing you need to know whenever you're modding it in my video right there, hit me up on Twitter at the Techne1, and I'm be more than glad to help you through it. Ask the questions you got right there. Maybe I can send you some photos or a couple tips right there. So definitely hit me up on there if you need more help. But again, thank you so much for stopping by and watching this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I was able to help you out. If I was, hit that thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for future tech videos. I hope I catch you in the next one. Bye now.